Good morning. Good morning, beautiful people, England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, the rest of the world, whoever fancies tuning in. Good morning to you and welcome. This one is called Food, Glorious Food. We're going to be chatting about that this morning. Lovely to see it. It's a very messy day, ladies and gentlemen. It is just not nice. It's rainy and overcast and quite nasty, in fairness, but let's just give my little lenses a click because they're a bit wet. Nice to see you all. Oh dear, when I was a kid, we used to get up to some old tricks. I was an Herbert, my word. I come into the world and I tell you what, my soul was on fire. I just went mad. Has the NKVJ got anything to do with us leaving the EU? Romans chapter 13, funnily enough, in the New International Version, it's been tampered with. It's not the same as Romans chapter 13 in the King James Version Bible, because in the old King James Version Bible, it says that you should be worried about the Lord thy God, not government. And in the NKJV, it talks about you should bow down to government and be fearful and pay your taxes. It doesn't say that in the original KJV, so they've tampered with it. These people are narcissists, and they seek to destroy us all, so just be careful. A couple of apples off me trees, ladies and gentlemen. This year, me and the missus decided to grow quite a bit of food, and we've had our apple trees and cherry trees in the ground for about 3 years, and they give us a good yield. And I've got just out the back of me in my office, I've got a massive big Bramley apple tree that's probably about 60 years old, and it gives us an abundance. We've got all sorts of bits and bobs going on around here. Hello, Sonia Ballard, Scott, how are you, darling? Submit to government as God, so government are God and housing migrants. Jesus Jones, absolutely spot on. Very, very well paid attention that the New International Version has been tampered with. Now, just briefly, whilst we've got you on and you've mentioned it, from my house to yours, God bless you all. Let's have a quick look at Romans chapter 13 in the, I'm going to need my thicker glasses for this. These are threes. These are 1.25. Bear with me. I'm not Austin Powers the way I change glasses. It's a sign of the age. The old eyesight's not as good as it used to be. But when I was a kid and we used to go scrumping, I always used to know that once the apple was in my hand, that was my apple. And I was going to enjoy it. And that's the thesis of my life, really, through the properties, the cars, my food. I always figure that if I've got it in my hand and in my possession, in my control, that it's mine, right? But apparently not. It all belongs to the state, which is a bit of a crazy thing. Just bear with me. We'll get to Romans in a second. And then we'll have a look at the text as is the original King James Version. Lovely to see you all. Would you say chapter 13, didn't you? And this is what they've done, you see. They've corrupted everything. They have absolutely corrupted. Right, so Romans chapter 13 in the original King James Version Bible says, let every soul be in subjection to the higher powers, for there is no power but of God, and the powers that are ordained of God. Now, I'm a minister. I'm ordained by God. Okay? And you all are. Once you come into that spirit. For there is no power but of God, and the powers that are ordained by God. Therefore, he has resisteth the power, withstandeth the ordinance of God, and they that withstand shall receive to themselves judgment. For rulers are not a terror to the good works, but to the evil. So this is where our government falls down, because it says that the rulers are not a terror to the good work, but our government are now a terror to the good work, but to evil. And what if thou have no fear of the power, do that which is good, and that shall have praise from his same. Now, the Romans chapter 13 in the New International Version says that you shall subject yourself to government. and you shall pay your taxes. If not, you shall live in fear from a knock on the door. Now, that's obviously not in the King James Version Bible. So they've tampered with the text. We come across that about 6 years ago when we was doing Bible studies. So, yeah, they're up to no good, right? I refer to New Jerusalem Bible 1966 KJV equals 1611. Yeah, 1611 being the original King James Version. So it says to that, submit yourself to the higher power, that which is ordained by God. So if I'm ordained by God, I'm submitting to myself, right? Yeah. Brexit, which it doesn't happen at a mid-class. Look, I've started this video this morning to talk about food, glorious food. Now, there's a guy on YouTube called Carl Vernon. He's done a very good podcast with regards to this pandemic, scamdemic, is seeing a lot of businesses shut down. Now, you can have all these businesses making all their clear-cut decisions. We're not going to tolerate this. You must wear a mask. You must do this. Well, the problem is for them is that they're not being patronised. People are not going too much to these venues. And you're seeing a lot of these stores that are coming out with this wickedness dead as a dodo. My golf course, which is doing 60% off its food right now, is struggling with that side of it because of all this. People don't want it. People are just staying at home saying, I'm not doing it. If you've got any common sense, that's what you probably will do. But Carl Vernon's done a thing saying that Young's and all these other big food processing plants, they're shutting down, temporary closures. So we're seeing now that the food, the people that process all this massive food. Now, look, what I have to see is this country and its people get back to the localized, local farming, local milk people. I mean, I don't drink milk. I might have a very tiny piece of milk in a cup of tea or coffee, but that's it. I don't take milk. It's full of mucus, and it's very inflammatory on the respiratory system. It can labour your breathing and all sorts. We're not supposed to. We're the only animal that once we come off the nipple, that we tend to drink milk all the way through our life. There's no other animal that does that. No other animal. Magistrates bring fear not to those who do good, but to those who do evil. Romans 13, New Jerusalem Bible 1966. They're supposed to. Once you stand in the spirit, they're just supposed to walk away. They can't. I've proved that to myself. I walked through the fire in 2013. That was my year of standing up for myself. That was my year of saying no more. That was my year of no, I'm not tolerating this. I had letters from all sorts, from HMCTS courts, bailiffs. I told them all to F off. I told them all to go F themselves, politely. And what we're almost 2021. And I've not been to prison or anything like that, so they're a bit late, really. So all I did back then was sent them the birth certificate. I said, I think you'll find this is what you own. I'm a creation of the divine. You can never lay claim. Are you laying a claim to own my body and my soul and spirit? And it just went really quiet. They can't do that. So once you make that separation, we're boom. So look, the point is this: there are a lot of these massive big food plants that deal in meats and this, that, the other. They're shutting down. They're not working. So how Foxtrot Oscar exactly? So how long is it going to be until all this has a knock-on effect? I think it's going to. We're also seeing a lot of these countries like Korea and all these other places, in India, that produce lots of rice and all this other stuff. They've shut up shop. They're not sending nothing over it because they're keeping all their food stocks for their own people, and rightly so. I want to know why all our farmers have not gone into mass production, why they've not got concessions. I mean, we're seeing concessions now from this so-called government, whatever it is, that your government are paying 50% of your meals and that they're trying to encourage people out to go and do this and that. But I generally believe now that many people are seeing through a lot of this mask wearing business and saying, do you know what, I'm just going to stay at home and I'm just going to get through the best way I can. So we're seeing all these things disappear and fall to the wayside. Mervyn Bell, legend, thank you, my friend. May need some pointers going forward. I've just sent him some bits and pieces this morning via email, so he's just messaged me back. Mervyn Bell, as you know, pops into the channel quite a bit. Release the Hunger Games. We're certainly in release. We're in Hunger Games now. I grow these. We grow. I've got a plethora of apples, and we do a lot of stuff. We freeze down and we make all sorts with them, and they're so tasty. When you just go up to your own tree and you pick them off, it is fantastic. To be fair, I could do with some more. What's your opinion on Carl Lentz? I met Barley quite a few years ago, the guy that he come over to England to help, the Punjabi man. Barley's a really nice guy, dashingly handsome, dashingly handsome. Unfortunately, I never got to meet Carl, nor have I spoken to him. However, I do think that Carl Lentz, I'll give you a little synopsis of Carl. He was in a court in America trying to get back his son, his disabled son that the state took away, which he did in the end. It required the immediate restoration of property. And he got offended by what a judge said to him one day. The judge said, "You're close, Carl, but you're not a man. You don't know how to be a man." And Carl took it deeply offensive. And it scorned him a bit. And he said he was thinking on it for a few weeks, what this judge had said to him. You don't know how to be a man, Carl. And this Carl's about 6'7", built like an ox, with a big burly beard. And that. He's a lovely guy. And then he realised, it come to him in an epiphany. And he said to his missus, "Put all them books away. I don't need them no more." And Carl started just writing out simple claims. Now, the words that Carl uses in his claims, I, man, require, blah, 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 they're biblical words. All the words that he's using is biblical. Whether he knows it or he doesn't know, he's definitely gone down. His claims, Carl Lentz's claims, are of biblical proportions, because I personally think he is definitely using the energy that comes from the Bible. Now, AOC Networks, which I follow quite a bit on YouTube, they've just done one. It's about putting on the full armor. Whenever you've got anyone coming at you, I don't care who it is, energy company, court, whatever, just use this book, because this is your inheritance. And this is why it's so bashed about and you're demonized from reading it and using it. This is your protection. This is your loincloths. This is your breastplate of righteousness. You can't fight your own battles, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a very spiritual war, and the spiritual war is going to get quite, I don't know, I think it's going to get quite saucy, in fairness, because there's definitely going to be shortage of food. You can't, for this very clever, intelligent virus that jumps 2 meters and then that's a meter. And my friend's just gone to a bank this morning. He said they're only open till 10 to 2. I said, why is that? It's because of the virus. I said, so the virus don't attack people from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Is that right? I said, because that don't make sense, really. If they're opening up in the first place, just don't make sense. I'm not too sure. This country's become part-time lovers, you know. It will go. It's going to have a knock-on effect. You can't be serious if you think that this isn't going to have a knock-on effect, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to, and you can store food. you can get some stuff in, which is always advisable. I've probably always got about 6 to 8 weeks of food knocking around the house, but at some point that's going to run out. So what are we doing? You know, we don't know how to look after our people of our country no more. We don't know how to just become a bit self-sufficient. There's nothing stopping us growing our own food. There's nothing stopping us being self-sufficient, ladies and gentlemen. But woe to you, scribes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Luke 11:52. Woe to scribes and Pharisees. Encourage others to research YouTube channel Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward's a nice old boy. There's a lot of people saying stuff about Charlie, but Charlie's just out there giving it what he wants to. So you can't have all these food outlets shutting down, all these big processing centres. And I want to know what Boris and his people are playing at. Why would you shut that down? Why would you we need to eat. We need food. You can't carry on like this. There's going to be a snatchback. Yesterday, Marks and Spencer's, 3,000 jobs gone. This is a right funny time, ladies and gentlemen. And I do believe the second wave is not about the virus. I think the second wave could all be about the fallout of the what's happening, because people ain't paying attention. They're all furloughed. They're all being provided for, whilst everything goes to thingy. They're certainly setting us up to fail. Certainly setting us up to fail. Absolutely. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees. My thoughts on St. Luke, chapter 11, verse 52. Right. Well, it's there, isn't it? Oh, well, you know, there's a couple of kickers in the Bible that really stick out for me, and that is James chapter 2 and 9, which says God is not a respecter of persons. That really just destroys the system, because the system can only come after the person. All right. So when God's law, and God's law is supreme, make no mistake about it, there's no one that's going to question that book. So when it says you shall not have respect of persons, if you are, then you're a sinner and you transgress the law. Well, expect to get what you're going to get. But people will turn away from it. People will turn a blind eye because they're happy in their ignorance. But their ignorance breeds contempt, especially nowadays with the scarcities and all the stuff that's going on. So anyone claiming to be Christian, deserving of a hearing, Jesus loves you. Amen. Of course Jesus loves you, man. That's what he died for. He died for us, and we've not let him down, because we all fall short from the grace. We're all just children. There's no men and women here. We seem to think so, but we're all children of God, and we just need to remember that. We really do. So there's going to be. I'm expecting trouble at shops. I'm expecting that there's going to be trouble with the food. I'd like to think that I could be wrong, but when you look at the facts of they're shutting down all these massive processing plants that produce all this food, ready meals, to be honest with you, that's not a bad thing. Ready meals are not good for you. Ready meals pretty much have no nutrition, and the reason why they have no nutrition is because most people with ready meals put them in a microwave and kill it. It might fill your belly and it might be warm as it goes in, but ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, if you've stuck that in a microwave for 4 minutes, you've killed every bit of nutrition and every vitamin and mineral that's in that food. You're just eating stodge. It's doing nothing for you. Now, a friend of mine yesterday got hold of me. Well, actually, he didn't get hold of me. Just put a nice post up. 3 years ago, he was having health issues, and he come to the revelation that he got type 2 diabetes. So about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, he was trying active measures to change that. Now, type 2 diabetes, we're all led to believe, is irreversible. Well, my friend is the exception to that rule. He started doing this and that, eating properly, stopping the beer, and he's full bill of health now. No type 2 diabetes at all in his body. Fantastic. Because he switched on his brain, because he turned on his brain, his cognitive ability to discern, and he just started eating proper foods. Now, the Bible itself will tell you what foods to eat to keep yourself healthy. And the Muslim fraternity out there scorn us for eating pig, and in my humble opinion, rightly so, because the Bible clearly warns us about eating pork. It says, "You shall not eat from this animal, but the rest you may eat freely." So let's have a look. Let's have a look at the Bible foods list, what the Bible talks about, what we should be eating. Right, so seasonal spices and herbs. Some of the most healthiest foods were part of the biblical diet. These includes olives, olive oil, pomegranates, grapes, goat's milk, raw honey, lamb, and bitter herbs. The Bible also contains a few accounts of people eating highly unusual and supernatural foods. This complete grocery list consists of spices, fruits, vegetables, seeds, grains, fish, fowl, meat, and other strange foods and drinks mentioned in the Bible. They range in taste and aroma from sweet to savoury to pungent. References to the passages are provided for each of the Bible foods. So Matthew 23:23, Exodus 16:13, Exodus 30:23, Revelation 18:13, Isaiah 28:25, Matthew 23:23, Matthew 23:23, Numbers 11:5, Matthew 23:23, Luke 11:42, Matthew 13:31, Luke 11:42, Ezra 6:9, Job 6 verses 6. Fruits and nuts. People of the Bible ate many today's most nutritious superfoods: apples, almonds, apples, Songs of Solomon 2 and 5, almonds, Genesis 43:11, Numbers 17:8, dates, Samuel 6:19. Dates are a superfood. And Chronicles, figs, Nehemiah 13:15, Jeremiah 24:1-3, grapes, Leviticus 11:10, melons, Numbers 11:5. Melons are really good for you. Olives, Isaiah 17:6, pistachio nuts, Genesis 43:11, pomegranates 20:25, raisins 6:2, raisins, Numbers 6 verse 3, sycamore fruit. I've never read that one. So here we go: vegetables and legumes, beans, cucumbers, gourds, leeks, lentils, onions, grains, barley, bread. Bread is for Genesis 25:34, corn, Matthew 12:11, flour, millet, spelt, unleavened bread, Genesis 19:3, wheat, Ezra 6:9, fish, Matthew 15:36, John, fowl, partridge, pigeons, quail, dove. So they was eating dove back in the day. That's Leviticus 12:8. Animal meats, calf, goat, lamb, oxen, sheep, venison, no pig. The pig because right. So according to the book of Leviticus, clean meats are those from animals that have a cloven hoof and chew the cud. Jewish dietary law taught God's people not to eat the blood of animals or any meat that has been sacrificed to idols. Dairy, butter, cheese, curds, milk, miscellaneous foods, eggs, grapes, raw honey, olive, vinegar, wine. So the point I'm trying to get to is if you eat all this fantastic stuff, the foods of the Bible. Now, there is a guy that lives in Mesa, Dr. Philip Day. He's got a website called Credence. He has helped people that have had cancers, etc., 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 etc. And what's happened is they've come to him with they've been given no hope with the NHS, and the NHS have said just go home and die. Here's some painkillers. Well, they've contacted Philip, and there's many testimonies where they're still living 20, 30 years on, because Philip Day is a theologian. And he has just really and truthfully put these people back into alignment, put them eating foods of the Bible, and their bodies have healed themselves. I'm Ben Dow, can't beat apple and cinnamon. Oh, lovely. So yeah, cumin, Isaiah 28:25. All these spices and stuff, mint, mustard, rue. What is rue? I've not heard of rue. Salt, Ezra 6:9. Now look, when it comes to salt, you don't want to be taking white table salt because that rasps up your blood veins, causes all sorts of problems and can block your arteries. But Himalayan pink salt and black salt and Celtic sea salt is a must. You've got so many essential minerals and nutrients within that. So, to be honest with you, most of the foods mentioned here, I don't eat much that's not biblical food. I've got to be honest with you. Most of the foods that I eat are biblical foods. When it comes to processed foods, every now and then, not very often, most is all cooked from scratch, and as much as you can eat raw as well. So, but I do think, look, 5 forbidden foods in the Bible that Christians should avoid. Animal fat states that it's forbidden to eat the fats of animals such as cattle and sheep. This is part of the Old Testament purity code. Bats, you should never eat a bat. I don't intend to be fair. Insects, you should never eat insects, vultures, and blood. The purity code of the Old Testament is filled with injunctions against consuming blood beyond the various spiritual reasons that consuming blood is forbidden. It may also be a food that is better to avoid for health reasons. Blood is considered a meat byproduct. So, yeah, that's black pudding out the window. Christians generally do not pay much attention to the list of forbidden for foods in the Bible. That said, there is some legitimate health advice in the Old Testament. Many of the foods that are considered off limits are things that Westerners were not planning to eat anyway, but some people still do consume them. Those who are thinking of trying out a new dish might want to think twice if it contains something that Leviticus listed as a forbidden food. It might be in the interest of your health to politely say no thank you. So there you go. Bananas are fantastic, full of potassium, and a banana gives you different things at different states of its whatever it is, when they've got spots on them, when they've not got spots, when they're ripe, they all do different things. I think when they're got spots on, they're going a bit soft. It's when they contain the most potassium. So this is where we're at. So I do eat good. I eat good food. I try and keep myself healthy. I'll be 53 in September. So yeah, not too far away now. The old food law were because the Nephilim corrupted all the animals. Probably right, brother. Herbs are the best. Yeah, you can't beat herbs. And for me, marijuana, cannabis, whatever it is you want to call it. Genesis chapter 23, I think it talks about I'll give you all the fruit-bearing seeds and plants to eat, and this shall be your sustenance, and you shall have dominion over the earth. So how can you go to prison for having a plant that grows in photosynthesis? How can you have a group of people saying you cannot have the plant that you was ordained to have? It does clearly say that all the fruits of the tree of the garden we may, but the fruit of the tree which is in the middle. Oh no, that's talking about Adam and Eve. But it does say in here at some point in Genesis that you've got dominion over the earth, and that all the fruit bearing you can use. Genesis 1:11. There you go. So let's have a quick look. Kenneth knows his stuff. Bertram. So yeah, I don't understand it. And said, let the earth put forth grass, herb yielding seed and fruit, tree, herein fruit after its kind, wherein is the seed thereof upon the earth. And it was so, and the earth brought forth grass, herbs yielding and after its kind, and tree bearing fruit, which in the seed thereof after its kind. And God saw that it was good. So you've been given dominion. It's your right to have. It is. They can't. I don't understand, and I never have understood why a so-called government can send people to prison for growing a plant. I've never. I've always been close to that book. Maybe that's the reason why I consider it to be a melanoma. It don't make no sense to me. No man on this planet, whether he's got a wig on or he's wearing a uniform, can monopolise over a God-given plant. That just don't make sense. That's just how I see it. Yes, there is. Oh, well, it can cause this and cause that. Well, yes, so be it. It is what it is. And what we should do is offer people help when they need it. We shouldn't demonise. There's a lot of demonisation going on, isn't there? There is so much demonisation that's gone on for such a long time. We are absolutely demonised. And like I said yesterday, it's all about dodging that proverbial bullet. Whether you go out on the road, whether it's your home, whether you're not paying your bills. Can you imagine the amount of stress that's just about to come for many, many people in this country? There's operations being cancelled. We're having phone calls, video phone calls for people because they're not going to hospitals and stuff. The amount of people that must be suffering right now with cancer-related illnesses, heart conditions, etc., 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 it is staggering. So on so many levels now, before I disappear, we are seeing so much depravity for being proactive in saying, well, we need to be cautious because there's a killer virus out there. Well, yesterday I did declare again, 3,000 people die per day of tuberculosis, and worldwide that is, and worldwide we have 56 people die of COVID-1984. We've shut a world down. We've shut the world down for 56 people a day dying. There's going to be food shortages. There's going to be people that are certainly not eating. People that have got allotments, their allotments are going to get ransacked. There will be food shortages. There cannot be no other way. You cannot shut down massive food production plants. And if you think all the food trains from Europe and that are going to keep coming, I don't think so. Them countries are going to make sure that they keep their stuff for their people first. And isn't this what the European Union wanted us, a begging bowl? The European Union wanted us to become their begging bowl. Please, sir, may I have some more? Well, right now we need strong people. We need brave people. We need people that think outside the box. We need people that want to make a difference in this world, that are going to do the right thing and stand up and be candid and have forward-thinking vision, free energy devices, how to produce food easily, cheaply. These are the things we need to be dealing with right now, and we're not. All we've got is a government that are peddling fear porn, hurting people. For what? I don't understand it. I really don't. And for all those that have died of COVID-19, bless you all. We are protected not by bread alone. Absolutely. We're protected by the higher powers, higher spirits. I encourage many people to pray. I pray all the time. I really do. I know, I can feel what may be just around the corner, and there's a lot of people going to really cop it big time. Save Our Children, Saturday 22nd of Nottingham, 29th Leeds. Save Our Children. God bless you, Kenneth. Protesting for me before I disappear, it doesn't work. I don't think. What we need is people that's going to take direct action. All right. So I'd like to see the word protesting replaced with direct action. Okay. Now, direct action means that you need big groups of people to come together to go and take back their buildings, take back their public buildings peacefully, in the law, respectfully. Say no more. We need that to happen. If that doesn't happen, we are truly lost, because we've now got councils acting as judges. We know this to be a fact. We've got councils stealing children and making on the open bond market. Children are worth a fortune. They're the new gold. It's got to stop. It's very satanic. It's dirty. May God have mercy on these people's souls. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, may He have mercy on their souls, because they're doing some really wicked things right now, and the police just go along with it. David, no one died from COVID-19. Well, some people that get it, most of them survive. And I was watching a doctor yesterday. He said most people that have died from this, the average age is 83. 83. It's a good life, isn't it? So, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eye on the prize. If you can, get some stores in, get some stocked up on pastas, rices, maybe learn how to make pasta, get yourself some flowers. You need to be able to quickly just be able to put some very simple staples together. You can't have this situation where this whole country is shutting down. That's exactly what's happening. The country is shutting down. Okay. All these food processing plant princes that make all sorts of bits and bobs, tin food, this, that, the other, they're shut. Loads and loads of massive food outlets now shut. That's every day that these places are not producing, because this is what we've done. We lean on these big corporations to look after our every need. We don't look after ourselves anymore, which we used to do. And now they're shutting down. It's going to have a knock-on effect. There could be a civil war. There could be a civil war. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see no one die. I don't even want to kill any of these politicians. I'll put them in prison. I don't want them to lose their lives. I want them to stay and realise and pay for their price, what they've done. I want them to be locked up. I want them all to be behind bars because they've subverted our country. They've broken our people. No one's got any pride left. People just bobbling along, trying to dodge the bullet every day. Speeding tickets. Are they going to come and take me kids? I can't pay this bill. Are they coming to take me house? Everyone's just trying to dodge the bullet. So, people, till next time, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for taking the time out this morning to listen to me. I think that there's a new world coming. I truthfully do. Just thank God for your life. I've done that since I had cancer. Thank him every day. My son had it and he's now okay. I'm back to work. God bless you. I'm Ben Dow. Yeah, praise God. Praise him. You know, I do. I pray all the time. I do. I pray for everybody. I don't just pray for me and my family. I pray for the world. I pray for everybody just to have decent lives and to be healed and to come back to wisdom, knowledge and understanding and understandings. I really do. It bothers me so much, some of the stories that people tell me about. It's quite scandalous, to be honest with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all very soon. I shall be on the Wake Up UK radio station tomorrow night from 9 o'clock till 10:15. Feel free to come and join us. That's wakeupuk.net. That's from 10 part. That's from 9 o'clock till 10:15. And also, there is. I don't know if anyone can find this link and put it up in the chat box. The Rick Mao film One by One is up on YouTube right now, and there's lots and lots of people watching it. So if you've not seen the film One by One by Rick Mao, you can now go and watch it free on YouTube. The link is up. Go and watch it and maybe save it somewhere so you can pop it back up again. I know there's some very clever people out there that can do this. I'm convinced no Brexit. There is no Brexit. It's a con. It's a massive con. Your politicians have let you down, ladies and gentlemen. They've not just let you down, they've planned this. It's planned. They've planned it this way. They come on the TV, oh, yeah, we're doing it. No, they're not. They're not doing nothing of the sort, ladies and gentlemen. Our army's now pretty much under the control of the European Union. Fantastic show last night with David Ellis, Graham Moore, Daddy Dragon, and a guy called Tom, who's a military man. That had almost 700 people viewing that at one time. Graham's channel is phenomenal. It's growing and growing and growing all the time, and he's been going a few years now. So they've been letting people down for years. So they don't work for us, ladies and gentlemen. They don't work for us. Gesundheit. Anyway, I'm off to eat what God's given me and grown, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Remember, stay blessed, stay safe. Don't bow down to the darkness. Walk in faith, walk in strength, walk tall, stand tall. Don't bow down. If people are telling you, where's your mask? They're mandatory. Tell them they're only for CUNTS. Masks, they're only mandatory for CUNTS. Don't let no one break you, all right? You must stand strong right now. Trust me, because you're all being tested. And this test is going to get a lot stronger. And for all those that have dug their heads in the sand and paid no attention, they're going to be paying attention very much in the next few months, ladies and gentlemen. And we need to be there to get through this. Make no mistake, we're all in this together. Generally, the people are going to be all in this together. Okay? Take care. Love you all and stay safe. Bloody Friend Supply in the R8. There you go. You've listened to it. You've heard it all on the show last night. David Ellis, a very clever man. This Tom's a nice guy. And obviously, Daddy Dragon, Graham Moore, my buddy. I'm not too sure what they're talking about doing at Runnymede, though. Another protest. Protests don't work. Direct action, taking back your buildings, will work. And it's just a day out. It's just grab yourself a sandwich and some apples and whatever, and I'm sorry, but you're going to start needing to take back your buildings. You only need to do it a few times, and you watch what happens. And do you know what? I've got to be honest, I think most of the police in the force actually want the people of this country to grow up here and take back their stuff, because they can't be happy with doing what they're doing to people. Surely that ain't right, is it? Anyway, I'll see you all. I've got to go. Stuff to do. Take care. Love you all.